Welcome to Built by Becker Podcast. I'm excited to be in the studio today in this episode. I know I say it all the time, but this episode is fire. Well, all of the episodes are fire, especially the After Hours episodes. But today I have a special guest. Man, I'm excited for this one. First and foremost, thank you for coming.
Of course.
Welcome to Built by Becker Podcast.
It's great to be here.
Man, tell everyone who you are and what you do.
So I'm Jack Fisher. I am an actor. I've been an actor since I was 5. And yeah, that's been my career for the majority of my life.
And where you live at?
I live in LA, specifically the Valley, out in Northridge.
Okay.
So, yeah, pretty nice
Shout
area.
out to Northridge.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, man. And so we're super excited to have you here. Man, it's awesome to have an actor. And how old are you?
I'm 16. I turned 17 in about 7 days.
Bam. Check that out. So for
Mhm.
anybody that might have seen him somewhere else last night, he is definitely 22 years old and not 17, as he just said. So that's real cool, and we're glad to have had you as a guest with us here in Naples. All jokes aside, man. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. I did a little research. This is impromptu. You decided to jump on, so we made some arrangements, get you in here, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so thank you for that. But I want to know about some of these movies, some of these TV shows. I'm going to ask some questions about Hollywood. I'm like one of those people that like is intrigued by Hollywood.
Mhm.
I don't really necessarily like care about Hollywood in a sense, but
Yeah.
yet it's like, you know, there's
There's a lot of interesting.
an interest. Like I just
things
don't know
that
what
go
they do
into it,
out
yeah.
there and how all the stuff works. So I'm just going to ask some questions. So,
Sure.
you know, so The You, that's a Netflix
You. Yeah,
TV
that-
series.
That was huge. Big
Okay.
show. Mm-hmm.
And when were you working on that?
That was in about, I think it was before COVID, so maybe like 2018 or 2019,
Okay.
around then. Yeah.
COVID really changed things out there.
It did, because it changed the format of how auditioning works. So before, auditioning was, you know, you're driving all around. You have to drive 30 minutes out to Hollywood, because I live about 30 minutes out. But after, when COVID hit, everything's online. So you'll have like a Zoom call and you'll just be doing it from your room.
Wow.
So it makes everything completely
And
different.
is that still continuing on? Is it like
Yeah.
the work from home thing is still kind of active out there? You don't have to.
They haven't changed it at all.
Okay.
So the form, and which I think is better because it saves a lot of time.
Yeah, of course. You could do 5 auditions in a day without having to drive around.
Literally, you don't have to drive.
LA traffic
Yeah.
sucks.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to LA, but the traffic sucks.
Yeah, no, it's terrible.
Yeah, it was crazy out there.
Uh-huh.
All right, cool. So The You, tell me about it. What kind of show was it?
So it's a drama, and it's about this guy who's basically a serial killer stalker, and I'm
man.
him young. So he's Joe Goldberg.
I know a couple like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's Joe Goldberg.
They still got my number.
And I'm him young. And, you know, that was a really fun show to work on, man. Everyone was so cool. Just really talented actors. And it was a really cool process. The whole
Yeah.
thing was really dope. A lot of cool scenes.
What's that like? So you're an actor. You get hired by a show. Okay, like
Yeah.
kind of like run it through. You did the audition from Zoom. You get hired. You go into what? To a warehouse like this, or to like a
it
stage?
depends on the
Like,
it depends on the location. So it depends on where it takes place realistically. So it could be anywhere. It could be in a warehouse. You could be shooting in an actual house.
Yeah.
Could be on the side of the road.
So
like
those are the
anywhere.
kind of things that intrigue me. Like I watch shows,
It's
I watch
very
a
cool.
movie, and I think,
Yeah.
so is that just a big green screen? Everybody's just talking face to
Most
face?
of the time, it's not. Most
Yeah?
of the time, you really are there.
Okay.
Where you're shown in the.
So like you could be on a stage, right, or a warehouse that's built out to look like a house,
Mhm.
right? So it's got different rooms and cameras and stuff set up. Or you could actually be in a house that they rent, or is
Yeah,
that-
they do
so
both very
they do.
frequently. Yeah.
So they will take like an actual house in
Most
a
of the things
subdivision.
I've been on, it's mostly not green screen. It's mostly like I'm actually there,
Okay,
which is cool. I really enjoy that.
yeah, because I have seen some green screen like
Yeah.
you know clips of actors working, and I think a lot of that stuff is when they're doing like CGI and crazy effects and stuff like that.
It's crazy the stuff they can do now.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what's the behind the scenes thing like? Like, you know, hear about like the green room and the food and the
Oh, yeah. I mean,
people
there's-
saying, "Hey, I
there's-
need a coffee."
Yeah,
and
you
all
got
this.
the catering. So, you know, you go and there's like all the food you want, you know, all the snacks you want between takes, and you're like, talking to the lighting guys and the people in charge of the boom and the camera guys. Everyone is awesome to work with usually. It's very rare that you get people who are not so great. But, there are every once in a while, but, you just learn to work around it.
Well, statistically, there's always going to be that certain type of person, right?
Yeah.
So that's cool, man. So your experience, when did you start acting?
I was 5.
5 years old.
Yeah. So
Wow.
It's been the majority of what I can remember.
So I got some other shows on here. NCIS.
Yeah.
That's
that
a
was
cool
really
one.
with Mark Harmon. That was really dope.
You got to work with Mark Harmon?
Yeah.
Bro, he's
love
a cool
Mark
he's a cool
Harmon.
dude.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
his,
you know Summer School?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie. It's so funny.
That's great.
So I already knew who Mark Harmon was prior. A lot of people don't my age.
Yeah.
But
we'll get into that. You know a lot of things that most people your age don't know.
Yeah. So it was really fun to work with him. He was one of my favorite people to work with. He was a great
How
guy.
is that? Like when I'm on a job site, maybe with another builder or someone who I aspire to be like, do these other actors kind of help you, like pull you aside, like, hey kid, try this, or why don't you do this, or go home and practice this, and you know
it really is inspiring. Before takes or between takes, they'll pull you aside. Mark Harmon did that a lot with me. Just small critiques or tips.
Yeah.
Just to make the scene better, or like he'll tell me to improvise a line here and there or something, which is you got to take that. You got to. It's so cool, and it's you remember that.
Yeah, we had a NFL football player on here the other day, and he was talking about like when he was playing in college and he was the number one and this and that, and then he got drafted, right? And he's in the locker room and everybody's a number one.
Yeah.
Like you're really with all these big dogs. So
Champs,
I can imagine that when you're on set and when you're with those guys, they're almost like supernatural looking. You see some of these celebrities, some of these actors, you can just tell like these guys are getting their awards. I mean, there's a reason they're getting their Academy Awards, their Grammys, their Emmys, all the things, because they are that good. I mean, they've honed and crafted their skills.
You really do feel like a college ball player in a room full of NFL stars. That is the truth at first, but I feel like it gets easier once you're on set enough with all these people. I feel like it kind of becomes less stressful mentally, and then you can perform better because of it.
You're there to do your job.
Yeah, that's all it is.
So do you guys get a trailer? Like have a place to chill?
Usually, it depends on the budget too.
Yeah.
For the big films and shows, you will get a trailer.
Like
they're usually
NCIS
really nice.
is a big show, so I'm sure they got like
that was a pretty nice
budget.
trailer.
Yeah,
it's pretty dope.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
What's Kid Cosmic?
Kid Cosmic. So that's an animated show on Netflix.
Okay.
And I am Kid Cosmic in it.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks, Kid Cosmic, for showing up today.
Of course. That was really fun to work on. That was during COVID.
Okay.
So, I was a little younger, so my voice had to be a little younger for it.
Mm-hmm.
That show was really cool. It was so fun going into the studio, and you can just you feel more relaxed because it's just you in there. And then on the other side, you have only 4 or 5 people maybe. And you just kind of go in there and do your thing, and it's super simple.
That's cool, man. So animated. Yeah. What's your favorite thing to act? If you had to pick something, would it be comedy, drama?
Drama.
You do like drama?
Drama. I feel like if it's something serious, I really shine there. I can, of course, do the comedy stuff, like Kid Cosmic's funny.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff like that. But I think the drama stuff is where it's at for me.
So you got that's a certain niche where you shine. That's where you shine.
Yeah, I don't know why. I've always been like that, even since I was younger.
You're a little dramatic.
Yeah.
Just naturally.
Naturally.
Yeah. Is that because you got a cool mom? Or
my parents are dope.
Nice.
My uncles.
Let's hear about them. Let's hear about your parents. Your mom says hi, by the way.
Hi, Mom. Wherever you are.
I happen to be talking to your mom on Instagram, which is a crazy story.
Yeah.
She saw a post about us hanging out in Naples, Florida, and said, "Hey, that's my son. And, look at that. He's doing great. We were singing. We were having fun." And
awesome.
So we messaged back and forth a little bit, and she's super proud of you. And shout out to moms. Shout out to moms. But what's the home life? What's the home life like?
So I live at home with both parents. I feel very fortunate having not grown up with parents who are divorced.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people who do go through that.
Of course.
And that sucks, Yeah. So I feel very blessed for that. And yeah, my home life is pretty great. So
you got a brother?
I do. He's 13.
Does he act?
He does.
Was he in some movies?
Yeah, the show Jeffrey Dahmer.
I might have that in my notes.
Mm-hmm. So he was Jeffrey Dahmer young. So we both played 2 serial killers young on Netflix.
So how'd you guys both get into acting?
So
Did you bring him along? Your younger
I don't
brother?
really know
Like,
about
come
my
on, bro.
brother. He kind of took the same path as me. So when I was younger, I found an interest in it, but I never really thought I would get anywhere with it. So I came to my mom basically, and I just told her, I was like, Mom, I want to do something in this realm. I think it would be very interesting. So she kind of brushed it off, but did attempt to work things out. So she eventually found an agency, and for a long time it wasn't really working out.
Yeah.
Very slow. So barely any auditions. Definitely not booking anything. And then right when she was about to pull me from it, that's when I booked my first commercial, and it was Walmart. It was a
Walmart commercial.
Walmart commercial.
Awesome.
Yep. And then shortly after, it was KFC and all these different commercials that were big.
So you started out by commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of like the path you have to go? I mean, you said you didn't go to acting school, so
I feel like you do often start with commercials because it is much easier to get into. And then you work your way up through voiceover and movies and TV shows, all that stuff.
No, how does that work? Do you have to get it's like a union out there, right? You have to be in the Screen Actors Guild or some kind of
SAG-AFTRA.
SAG, right?
Yeah, so I'm SAG.
Okay.
Same with my brother.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So you basically sign up, you get part of their
Basically,
and then
yeah.
That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy, man, crazy.
It's a cool world.
You got anything you're working on now? You going home to film anything? You got any projects in the works? Any auditions coming up?
A lot of voiceover stuff all the time, which I love doing. I feel like that's the easiest form of acting because you go in there, you can be wearing your pajamas if you want, and go film, and it's pretty dope. Auditioning all the time for live stuff.
Yeah. How's the pay? You're 16. How's that work?
So I have a Coogan account, obviously, and I'm not 18 yet, so I can't touch any of the money. So all that just piles up over the years.
Nice.
Yeah, I've done pretty well for myself so far.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's
so
really cool. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
How was? Were you on Connors?
I was on the Connors, very briefly though.
Okay. Did you meet Roseanne?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
She wasn't there at that point.
Oh,
but,
we met Roseanne.
The rest of the stars I did meet.
We met Roseanne the other day.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
How was she?
She's wild. Yeah. She was with us at Mar-a-Lago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
she
cool.
was great. It was
awesome.
my highlight experience. I mean, other than Mike Tyson and some of the other celebrities that we're hanging out with, Gary Brecka and some of these other guys. Roseanne, we came out of this little event, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Roseanne was sitting on a chair while everyone else was standing. There's people drinking. I mean, we're all black tie event. We're all dressed to the nines outside Mar-a-Lago, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone's drinking, having a good time. And I look over and I see a hat kind of like this one, a little bit not so tight brimmed, a little bit more floppy. Mm-hmm. And a lady wearing gloves with a glass of wine and a plate in her lap with a hot dog on it and a barbecue rib with a huge bite out of the meat. And everyone's circled around her, where everyone's hanging out, and there was a lot of celebrities around. There was a lot of people around. So it was, but to me, it was the coolest experience. She's got these silver gloves on. She's dressed up with her hat. She's gnawing on a barbecue rib, at a black tie event.
It's very strange.
Then she puts it down and picks up a hot dog like she's at a ballpark and just smashes a hot dog.
Wow.
To me, for some reason, that was my coolest experience.
Very strange, yeah.
And then she hung out with us, which was even cooler.
Yeah.
So that was another thing. So shout out to Roseanne for spending a little time with us at Mar-a-Lago. It was actually funny. It's another thing she did. So she's hanging out in our little circle, and we're talking about different stuff, and she had put her sandwich or her food down or whatever, and she's drinking her wine, and we were asking her questions, and we were talking, and some lady comes up, and she's like, excuse me, could my boyfriend and I get a picture? And she says, no, I don't really do pictures. And brushed her off. and turned right to us. And Patrick goes, "Can we get a picture?" And she goes, "Yeah, sure. Get a picture." And the lady hadn't even walked away yet. It was like she totally blew this lady off. And then in the next sentence said, "Sure, let's get a picture."
That is hilarious.
So, one of those crazy celebrity stories. So shout out to Roseanne for entertaining us that night and hanging out with us.
Very
That
funny.
was a fun time. All right, so let's see here. Any crazy stories?
On
Being an
set,
actor in Hollywood, on set, maybe a party, like what anything crazy you've seen?
Probably, there was this one time. So I was on set. I can't really remember which one it was, but this one cameraman, he was getting all like rowdy and pissed off. It was a long day, and he was basically like, I quit. Like, and he just left, and everyone was like confused and like wondering what was gonna happen. He came back eventually, but everyone was like freaking out because they didn't know how to continue. And it was just, it was chaos for like about, I don't know, like 30 minutes or something. It was, so yeah, not a bunch of wild stories. Mostly everything goes smoothly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much
One
it.
thing I learned when I was out in LA, and because there's a lot of actors in LA, like a crap ton.
Yeah, a good
like
majority.
they're everywhere,
Mhm.
right? So I feel like it's like you kind of get a glimpse of what you see on the media is a small percentage of the people that are actually like in the limelight and stuff. But there's a lot of just working actors.
Yeah,
out,
no, there is.
and out in LA.
Yeah,
Like
tons.
I was in a room. There was like 15 actors. It was funny. Like, they're just
Yeah.
regular people. They go to work. And there's a ton of people that work in that industry too, just
Yeah.
regular people, that are in
Tons.
charge
Everywhere.
of sets
Everywhere you
or
go.
lights or,
Everywhere you
production
go,
or
grips or like someone's doing something.
Yeah.
If you go there, someone is involved in some sort of
yeah.
area involving that.
But it's kind of like a small area.
It is,
Yeah.
but it's very strange because it is small, but everyone's doing it.
Right.
Everyone.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool, man. So that's cool. So you've been doing this since you were 5. Do you think you'll ever do anything other than this? Are you gonna ride this out?
I would really like to ride this out and see where that goes. Politics.
Uh-oh.
I'm thinking about
Oh.
getting involved in probably soon.
Okay.
I don't know exactly where I'd fit into it, but I'm going to figure that out. So
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you keep acting until you figure that
Yeah.
political move out. I like that. So, what brought you to Naples, Florida?
So I came to stay with my uncle. It was the first time I flew by myself.
Okay.
So that was very exciting. Although my flight kept getting delayed. So that was
Shout out to the airlines right now.
that was
right?
pretty annoying. I ended up getting in around 12:30, and then it took forever to get home. So we ended up getting in at around 1:30.
Yeah.
So not
Yeah.
great, but
So you're down in Naples, Florida, and so what have you done? How long have you been here?
I've been here since Sunday night. But Sunday night we didn't do anything. Just went home. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday. So we've been
Cool.
going all around. He's been taking me all the places he goes to. I've been enjoying all the meetings and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Naples is a beautiful place.
It is. It really is. I was blown away by. We've been rolling around, seeing all the houses. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
So, I mean, LA is a beautiful place. I mean,
It
it
is.
has some very beautiful places.
Yeah,
Beverly
it
Hills,
really does.
and
Everything is-
even in the valley, there's some nice places, right? Santa Monica.
all those fires recently.
Well, yeah, that was horrible.
It's crazy.
So a lot
It
of
didn't
people-
affect anywhere near me or the people I know.
Yeah,
About 30 minutes out.
affected a lot of people though, man.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Palisades mostly. It's terrible.
So, what was your favorite thing that you did in this stay? You got something that a highlight day or a highlight event?
Probably when we all went to the Turtle Club.
Oh, I was waiting for that answer.
That's the one, man. That was awesome.
That was an event. That was
we
a
were there-
day.
We were there for hours, right on the beach. It was really great. The energy was great. We were all talking. It was awesome.
We weren't just talking. We were singing.
Dude,
we were
yeah,
rapping,
singing, rapping,
laughing,
laughing,
telling stories.
everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's talk
awesome.
about that, man. So you are a fan of a little bit different genre of music,
Yeah.
right? Than
than
most
people my age.
15, 16, 17-year-old kids, right?
That's to say the least.
Now, I'm sure you probably still like some of the music, right? And the stuff
do,
the
yeah.
movies and stuff that's current, right? But how did you fall in love with Motown?
Okay. So very interesting. My dad is from Detroit. and that's, the Motor City.
Of course.
So my dad grew up on that music. Of course, he lived through it. So I was always very into that music growing up, but I never really got super involved with it until about, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And, I just started going on deep dives through every kind of artist. And I just love it, man. I love the feeling it gives me. And it's very empowering.
Well,
there's so much soul in it.
That music hits your soul. That's why.
It's soul music. It
soul
really
music.
does. It wouldn't be called that if it didn't touch
enlightens
you
your soul.
It does. It does.
And music has that ability, right? No matter what kind of music, depending on
any kind of music, it's rhythm. It's you take it in, and no matter what it is, you hear it, and it makes you feel a certain way. It's what music does.
And there's still certain songs that I hear them, and the hair stands up on the back of your head. And it brings back a memory. It brings back a nostalgic feeling.
It's really amazing.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And there's a lot of music that does that for me.
There is. So you also are a fan of 90s and 2000s rap music.
Rap,
right?
R&B from
R&B?
that time.
Yeah, you like R&B too?
Music.
Like Keith Sweat?
Oh, yeah. Keith Sweat.
Yeah, Jodeci.
Brian McKnight, Jodeci.
Brian McKnight. Man. Boys to Men. Down on Bended Knee.
Yeah,
come on.
My favorite song.
That's my boy Pat's favorite song. That's how he asked me out. Was that song?
I love that song.
Played that song for me. I couldn't say no.
Of course.
I mean, how could you?
How could you?
Right. He's down on Bended Knee.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I love it. I love it.
Yep.
What's one of your favorite Motown songs?
Oh man, that is tough. Favorite Motown song. Have You Seen Her? Maybe by Shy Lights.
Were we singing that one?
I'm pretty sure we were.
I think we might have been.
I love a lot of Al Green music.
Al Green.
Al Jarreau, Temps, Tops, Spinners, OJs, Manhattans. The list goes on. I mean, everything. I love
the fact that you're just rattling those off to me is so cool, and that's what we were so amazed with.
Do that.
On Monday when we were chopping it up, man, it was super cool. What about?
You definitely don't see it coming from me.
What about 90s and 2000s rap? There's a big difference between 90s and 2000s. There's a really shift in the type of music in the kind of the transition there.
Yeah. Oh man, there's so much I love. Tend to go towards West Coast more, just because I'm from here, so I'm from out there. So that's what I vibe with more.
90s West Coast.
90s West Coast. Snoop, Tupac,
Ice Cube,
everyone. Easy. I love NWA. That's my shit right there, man. I love that. Yeah.
That's good, bro. That's good. That's good. Mm-hmm. What about 2000s? It's a little bit different. You start getting into Lil Wayne.
I love Lil Wayne. I love Lloyd. I love Lloyd Banks.
Yeah.
Who else? Man, there's so many artists.
Nelly.
Nelly.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love Nelly. Nelly's one of my favorites for sure.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Love him.
Pat, you got any more 2000s, 90s you want to shout out? Because you're talking to as our friend Steve would have said the other day with us an agreement, right? Was a hip hop encyclopedia over here.
Man, I'll know everything. If you say it, I'll know it for sure.
Oh man, we didn't drop 50 Cent. That's we can't have a podcast without 50 being dropped.
I love Memphis Bleak.
Okay.
Yep, Mobb Deep. Biggie, obviously.
Nas.
Yep.
He was mentioning a lot of West Coast rappers. He wasn't mentioning a lot of East Coast, man. Mm-hmm. We know what side of the beef he was on. Even though he wasn't born yet, we know what side of the beef he was on. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, what's beef?
What's beef?
That's cool.
I love what's beef.
Any connection? Now, obviously, I'm assuming your dad played this music in the house, so you kind of grew up listening to it. Any connection with the music genre that you like and your acting style?
Connecting music to my acting style.
Is there any connection? Any connection into where, some of these things that influenced you as a kid come into your acting?
I feel like when the scene calls for something more passionate or romantic, I guess, you would listen to I would listen to 90s R&B, all the Boyz II Men, Jodeci, Brian McKnight, all that. And I feel like that really pulls something from you that you can use. So yeah, I would say 90s R&B for me.
You sparked another question about Hollywood. I want to know any on-set romantic scenes you've had to do yet, even as a young kid? Any kisses?
I have before.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy. In the future, though, hopefully.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Any on-set crushes that you've had?
Of course, but you know.
Any famous actresses you want to drop their name or actors? I'm not sure which side of the fence you
yeah,
swing on.
definitely not. I don't swing that way.
You came on Built by Becker. We're going to bust your chops, man.
Salma Hayek.
Selma Hayek.
Yeah, in From Dusk Till Dawn. That's
Selma Hayek.
She's a real piece.
She is. She's older now.
She is.
She's still beautiful.
But, I'd still take her.
I bet you would.
Yeah, even older. Even 10 years later, I'd still take her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, man. All right, so we're gonna do some fun stuff. Quick question: what would be your dream role?
My dream role.
What actor would you want to work with? What kind of movie? What if you could pick, like your dream role? I mean, to be the star of the show, who would be?
I would probably want to do something kind of like a Scarface type movie, because that's my favorite movie of all time is Scarface. I love the acting, the music, the accents, everything.
Yeah.
I love the whole thing. Really touches me like no other movie does. So maybe
You like that
something
Miami cocaine vibe.
Yeah. So
Right.
maybe like something along that type of genre.
Yeah.
I would really be involved in that.
Yeah, I like it. I like
Mm-hmm.
it. I like it. What was the first rap album you either bought or downloaded or whatever? You grew up in an era where you could download things. So we had to go to the store, go through the cassette tapes, and pick out what was
Life
your first.
After Death.
Really?
Life After Death. I think that was one of the first ones.
I remember mine.
What was yours?
The first one I went and bought, not listened to at a friend's house, which was Doggy Style. Snoop Dogg.
Man, I love Doggy
I remember.
Style. Ain't no
I
fun.
remember getting the CD, opening it up, putting it in the CD player. Like I remember,
a lot of bangers on that song.
Yeah, I was mowing yards back
that
then,
album.
so I had to save up my bucks, go to the store and buy it.
Love that.
And
album.
man,
I'm pretty sure that came out in 1993.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that was good
great
stuff.
with release dates too. If I'm given an album, I can.
Oh, we're gonna do something right here. Give me an album.
Oh man. Oh boy, it was written. It's Nas, so I'd say. And I'm not perfect here. I'm gonna give my best guesses on this. If it's by Nas, I'd say. What, like 96?
Ooh,
okay.
not bad, not bad. Let's hit him with some West Coast because seems like that's more his vibe.
Chronic was 99 or 2001.
No, the original.
Okay. Oh, this is tricky. Why is this?
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, man.
That's okay. We like to call people out. You say you know dates, we want to prove them. Facts. 92.
Think.
No, you're good.
I don't know, man. Stumped. The Game documentary. Ooh. I'd put it at like what? The Game. So probably like 2004.
Ooh, he's been close. He's been close.
Off by a year.
Not bad.
Man.
Not bad. Not bad. When were you born?
2008.
He's spitting off stuff that was before he was even born. We got to give the kid some credit, right? Go easy on him. This guy's full of useless information.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I love
It's
it,
right.
man.
He's not an actor.
I love it.
Yeah, he doesn't work in
love
Hollywood.
Music is everything.
He's in Naples, Florida, behind a podcast screen. Yeah, that's our guy Pat back there. We love you, Pat.
Shout out to Pat.
Shout out to Pat. Okay. Would you rather perform in a classic Motown movie or a hip hop drama?
Classic Motown.
Nice.
Yeah. That music really touches me deep. Not just because of my dad's background, but there's something in it that really, like we were talking about, how it's like so soulful. I don't know. I just feel a different connection to it than any other type of genre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, bro.
I would do that for sure.
So we talked about what's up next and upcoming projects. You're going back to do some more auditions and some voiceovers and stuff. Possibly some politics, right?
Yeah.
Which is going to be cool. I'm interested in that. When are you coming back to Naples?
Probably in around summer. I'd
Summertime.
say probably summer.
Okay.
Would be
It's
when
hot
I'm
as
back.
shit here. You understand that?
Yeah, man.
Not like California hot. It's like burn your skin off hot.
No, I know. I got a little burn the other day.
Have you
when we were
guys
at
been
Turtle
here for
Club.
the summer yet? Okay. Did you tell them about it? Like you go outside and you can't breathe hot? Like go to the mailbox like
Oh, he was telling me about when he was wearing like suits and stuff out in that weather. Yeah. Oh man.
I'm in Miami, bitch. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Well, we'd love to have you.
Yep.
Man, I'm excited to. I'm we're friends on the gram now. You know what I mean. I know you. I'm not gonna say I know your mom, but we've communicated.
Yep.
So, I know. Yeah, I know your uncle. We're gonna be working a lot with your uncle, and maybe I get an invite out to LA.
Yeah.
You know, I got some friends out there as well, man. I'd love to pop in and
be awesome.
get an insider view of the city.
That would
right?
be awesome.
And I want to thank you. I want to thank you
course.
for short notice coming on to Built by Becker,
Man,
sharing
it's my
your
pleasure.
sharing your experience, and for the fun that we had Monday, man. Because all jokes aside, all this stuff it was such a vibe between everybody at that table.
I feel like great connections were made. The vibes were great. A lot of funny stuff talked about. It was incredible.
It was just fun. You know what I mean? When you get that many,
natural.
You get that many big personalities. We had 8 at the table.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
You know, everyone brought something different, but it all kind of connected.
It did.
And you know, everything just flowed, man. And it was natural. It wasn't, you know.
Yeah, it was really cool, man. I could have stayed there for another couple hours, man. It was
I
one
could
of
have stayed for 2 more days.
Yeah,
Like,
it was just one of those things, man. It was good. So thank you for coming on Built by Becker. Amazing experience. Thank you for sharing your insights with Hollywood. Thank you for sharing your insights into your love of music and your future possibly in politics, man.
Yep.
And thanks for becoming a new friend. I appreciate it, bro. All right.
Of course.
Thanks.